University for me. UNA. Welcome to your paradise, the place you long for all your life. UNA University, manifesting all your dreams. With paradise, your land is home. Writing contracts on your own. Protect your loved ones every day. Knowledge goes a long, long way. UNA University for me. UNA University for me. UNA. Paradise, all your life. University, all your dreams. Land is home, on your own. Every day, long, long way. UNA University for me. UNA. University for me.
Yeah, welcome to your paradise, the place you long for all your life. Yours truly, Diva Lyri in the house, representing for UNA University, UNA Republic. Welcome, welcome. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. UNA. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Oh, welcome. All right. Glad to have you here as we represent this evening, going through some topics tonight. And mainly, we're going to respond to the Moabites who have been in the comments section of some of the videos we've been putting up. So we're going through it tonight. So glad to have you. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri, where we help you find your social freedom, your financial freedom, and most importantly, your spiritual freedom. Let's go. Okay. So again, we're going over responding to the Moabites who have been in the comments section. Before we go into that, I want to remind you, my new book is out. Tapping into your supernatural powers. All right. Tapping into your supernatural powers. You want to get this book for women who have known that something has been wrong with everything they're telling us about in this society. This answers a lot of questions. This reveals a lot of lies that we have been told as women. Brothers, this is a good book for you as well, but this is mainly for my sisters. This book was spawned off of the question, how do we give birth without a male? That's in here. We go into parthenogenesis in detail, in depth, and that help you understand exactly what your powers are, why they have been hidden, and how you get them back. You're going to understand exactly that the period is not natural as you have been told. You're going to understand why it's happening. You're going to understand how to clear it up. Once again, this is tapping into your supernatural powers. You can find this on unauniversity.com. unauniversity.com. Get this book. It's very powerful. It has research that I have been researching for over a decade. All right. Answers that nobody told me. But I'm telling you, in this book. So get it. Tapping into your supernatural powers, UNAuniversity.com. Okay, let's get into the next thing. For those of you all who are interested in getting a trust, this is what you need. All right. Let me say this. I'm going to go into trust this evening concerning the Moabites that have been commenting in my comment section. And I'm going to get into depth about the importance of a trust and why people are still having a hard time when they're fighting with this system, this trust right here. All right. So the membership trust package, if you're interested in it, my people on TikTok, name, number, email, YouTube. All right. Send us a message. Go to UNAuniversity.com, UNAuniversity.com, and you can enroll there. We can give you access to our workshop so that you can get in there and find out what products and services you need. All right. X, name, number, email, leave it in the inbox. Let's go. All right. It comes with all of your trust documents that you're going to need. It comes with your membership badge. Okay, and again, these are all very, very powerful tools. It comes with your allodial ID. This deals with your spiritual name. All right. It also has a QR code so that when we put your documents on record, you will always be able to access them by simply scanning this QR code. Okay. So not only do we put them on record with UNA, we're going to put them on record with our county as well. So you know they're on record, and then you have the right or the option to put them on record anywhere else you want to put them on record. And most importantly, this comes with an education. This is a powerful tool, but if you don't know how to use this powerful tool, then it cannot work for you. Okay, you can't just be ignorant and go, okay, I was free now, and these my free paper. You got to know how to stand on these. So this is a very powerful package. The education alone is worth way more than what you pay for the package in total. All right, the education alone. So if you're really wanting to gain your sovereignty, you're wanting to learn who you are, how we got into this mess, how you clear it up, this is what you need, the membership trust package. Find us at UNAuniversity.com. All right. Lastly, and then we're going to get into this thing, the membership, the beginner law book, the UNA beginner law book. This is also a powerful tool. It has all of the laws in it. If I'm going into any kind of situation where there's a court, I'm putting them on notice about what my God said. All right. This book has in it the universal laws, the hierarchy of laws. All right. It has the vibratory frequency chart. All of these are in the book. Also in the book, you will find the maxims of law, all 200 and something of them. They come directly from the Bible. This is why you want to stand on these, the laws. And when you stand on this in any court, they have to respect it. They got to respect the laws that you say your God put down for you. And the problem is, a lot of times y'all go into court and you haven't even established you walking with God. And that's a problem. So the beginner law book is a very powerful tool. Also, if you get the physical copy, you're going to get the civilization cycle and the societal totem pole come with it. All right. So this is again, the physical copy. You can also get the ebook copy. Find us at UNAuniversity.com. Okay, let's go. I want to welcome everybody in the house. Linnea, welcome. Elkiman, welcome. Nubian, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Copper Goddess, hands yellow, heart red. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but I'm going to take it as love. Okay. All my people in TikTok. Let's see. BG, welcome. Regina, welcome. Who else is in the house? Classy Sassy, welcome. Hold on. I have some more people in the house. I just want to give everybody shout outs and love. Okay. Let's get into this now. So today's topic is responding to the Moabites. Now, before I go into that, I need to address something, okay? A lot of people have been making assumptions that I am with some kind of secret society, whether it be a Greek organization or, you know, some organization like the Women's Star. I'm gonna just say it like that because I don't need to mention certain things. But let me say this. And I am not a part of any organization, never have been, never ever had the desire to be, whether it be any kind of Greek organization on college campus, whether it be something where we're dealing with any other secret society. Diva, don't do that. All right. I've never had the desire to do that. So I've also had people saying things about my hand gestures. So when I'm here, or I'm, if I'm doing anything else, or it might be this or whatever it is, I've got people asking questions. Well, what's going on with your hands? So let me give you a title to look up. It's called mudras, M-U-D-R-A-S. Put this on the screen, Savvy, so that we can be clear about what's going on. So these are mudras. These are, for those who know, and have an understanding, when you're dealing with your hands, they are energy sources. And so you can redirect your energy sources in your body using things called mudras. This is one you'll see me do. It's called the Haikini mudra. All right. There are other mudras in here that you might have seen me do. This mudra here, Shield of Shambhala. Okay, so I just need to make this clear. Now, I know that there are secret societies that use some of these symbols. One here is one that people use. Here's another one that people use. I have not used those, but I need to make this clear. I'm not signaling to anybody. I'm not signaling to anybody. All right. If you see me doing a mudra, whether it's this or whatever it is, okay, let it be clear. Diva Lyri is not a part of anybody's secret society. If you see me with doing this is not a gesture to anybody. It's just a mudra. All right. I need that to be made clear. Does anybody have any questions, any comments? Leave them in the comment section. Okay, let me get into this now. So, thank you, Savvy. So we've had a lot of comments coming into the comment section, and I, of course, knew that this was going to happen, where people are going to be upset about the things that I'm saying because I'm telling the facts, all right? You look up the facts for yourself, and then you can determine whether or not they are your truth, okay? So I need to go into a couple of different subjects that have come up this week concerning people who are either more or have some kind of way, found a way to keep the cops off their back, or people who are just angry with the system and they just want to fight and they upset and they want to kick them out. Okay, we're going through that today. And I want to go through one of the streams or the feeds that happened in one of my sessions, or one of my TikToks, actually. This is from a TikTok. So let me go through this now. Basically, in this post, here's this guy who's saying, well, let's start here where he's calling me an agent. I want to thank everybody for joining YouTube, TikTok, X. We are streaming live on all three platforms. I want to thank you guys for joining us. So let's go through this. Here's this guy, him and his partner, his posse, because that's what they do. When these people want to attack, they get their friends and they tag their friends to come in and say things, and all they do is try to spam the channel with images and things that make no sense. But I want to go through what these guys said because it was really kind of funny, And I need to make it clear about why it's important to know law. Once again, I'm doing this session because we need to make it clear about why it's important to know law. So please pay attention. If you're still trying to get your trust or understand sovereignty or anything else, I need you to pay attention, because of the simple fact that not knowing this little bit of information I'm putting out will cost you a lot later. Not knowing this little bit of information I'm putting out now will cost you a lot more later, I promise you. Okay, so put it back on the screen, Savvy, please. Now, we've got this guy here, and he says, I think she's a government agent. She talks sovereignty but doesn't have a nationality or a national flag. She doesn't understand that the Moroccan flag is older than the country, Morocco in Africa. Okay, so let's start right there. First of all, my nationality. United Nations from America is my nation. And people ask me, well, what's your title? The original people? That is my title. And Diva Lyri is a civil supreme. Civil meaning knowledge of the law. Supreme meaning highest knowledge of the law. I am a civil supreme. Original people of this planet, standing under United Nations from America. Do I need to show our flag? You all see it in the logo? That's the flag. We fly it. Hold on. Let me pull it real quick since I know. 1 second. Because we got a lot of things to cover tonight. But let me pull this flag so that you all are clear on what our flag is. And understand why this is a nation. Okay. And let me say this as I'm pulling this up. What we do here is we help people understand what a true government is, what sovereignty is, and why it's important that you know it, okay? So this is not about bragging, about, oh, this is mine. And what this is about is making sure that you understand what your rights are, and that you learn how to exercise every last one of them to your advantage. All right. All right. So here is our flag, but you guys see it all the time. Okay. Are we clear on this? Not only that, we have flags and seals for every organization that we have, which includes UNA University, UNA Federal Court, UNA Marshals. Okay? So one of the things that people don't understand, and I hope you guys are paying attention once again, what it takes to be a nation: a flag, a seal, a landmass, a bank, a constitution. Did y'all get it? Flag, seal, landmass, bank, constitution. And so he's talking about some Moroccan flag that's old. And you know, this is what they're regurgitating. Oh, the flag is 10,000 years old. Did anybody do any research? Because that flag with the green star is not that old. Did you do any research? So this is what I mean when I say, when you bring stuff, you need to have vetted it yourself and not just be regurgitating it, because people like me who know law and are going to research will rip it up. So that flag is not that old. But what you are is proud to be a part of this thing that you have no idea what it is. I'm going to get into it though, so pay attention. Definitely educated, this guy Salam says. and indoctrinated to be an operative of disinformation, he says. Sounds astute, but just another shield, a la Charlie Kirk, he says. Good polarizing content, but a clear evasion of truth and factoids, he says. Just legal corporate speech with good enunciation and articulation. Salam, I appreciate the compliments, brother. But everything I say is factual. And so here's the deal. These people, they want to come at me with attacks, i.e. like they did Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. But they don't want to show any kind of facts or any kind of research showing what their knowledge says. But I'm going to break mine down to you. And then at any point, if any of you Moabites decide you want to come on live with me, let's do this. Let's do it. I've been asking for it. Because we got questions. All of us, I get so sick of so-called Moors coming to me, praising the Moroccan whatever, but you don't know the knowledge. Go back to them and get the knowledge, because somebody's lying to you or somebody's not teaching you what you need to know. We're going to see it right here. Let's pay attention. As we continue on, this guy says, if all black people knew their nationality, the prison population would be very low. I'm just saying, this guy says. Let me make something clear. And I need this to be heard, because I need to go into this document here that I told you about. Is called the Hierarchy of Laws. This is the Hierarchy of Laws chart. Okay. And the problem is people want to just, I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be out of jail. And they think jail is because the system is picking on them. When I need this to be made clear, there are laws here, these highest laws here, universal laws. Whenever they tell you ignorance of the law is no excuse, they're not talking about man's law down here. They're not talking about corporate policies, procedures, and ordinances. They're talking about the universal laws, meaning if you put out an energy, it must come back regardless of what. That is the law. And the problem is these people are not accountable. I need to go on. Let me go on, because I'm coming back to that. Because he's talking about how if black people knew their nationality, the nationality he's talking about is Moor. And I've broken this down several times about what a Moor is. And they claim in this title, it belongs to somebody else. It's trademarked. So you're using this title. You have no idea what you're doing. Not to mention, he calls himself Moorish American. Hold on. Let me find this. He called himself Moorish American. And I need this to be made clear. All right. He talks about no trust. I'm going to come into that. But I need this to be made clear, because he calls himself Moorish American right here. He says, I know I'm Moorish American with a flag, and they won't deport me to Morocco, the country, because I'm from America, Turtle Island, which was named by the original people, not by the Moors that came over here. Bloodline, Ruth the Moabite. He said Ruth the Moabite. Okay, we're going to get into who the Moabites are too. All right, so pay attention. He calls himself Moorish American. These are the same people that will tell you, oh, if you call yourself African American, you're an orphan. Right? They tell you you're an orphan if you call yourself African American, because they say there's no country or nation called Africa, and then there's no country or nation called America. But he turns around and calls himself Moorish, which anytime you use the term ish means kind of, sort of, but not really. Ish means kind of, sorta, but not really. Meaning it ain't real. It's not what it purports to be. So he called himself Moorish, and then American. So we already established there's no nation called American or America. And then somebody please show me the nation called Moor. Where is it? Where is its landmass, flag, seal, constitution, landmass, bank? Where is this nation that doesn't have a flag? See, they're using somebody else's flag. That's not their flag. That flag is under copyright and trademark. And they keep flying that little green star. And I'm like, this is our flag. Okay. Seal. Constitution. Where's the Constitution of this place that they call Moroccan Empire? Where is it? Where's the landmass? Where's the bank? I'm saying to you that these people don't understand what true law is. And only thing, we're going to find out what he's really excited about for being up under this nation. All right, we're going to find out what he's excited about. But I need to go into this because he says Ruth the Moabite is who they call themselves. Let's go into who the Moabites are. Okay, because you got people over here calling themselves Israelites. Okay. And then I want to say they Moabites. This is like the so-called, I'm going to get in trouble. By the way, I need y'all to understand, they are removing some of the documents that I put online because I'm telling too much truth, especially when I talked about the Act of 1871. Okay, so you guys, if you're getting this information, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you do your research because again, as you know, somebody's trying to take over TikTok and then they want to govern what we say because they don't want us putting the truth out. So I encourage you to listen closely, take notes, and get this information. All right. So somebody says in the word Morocco, more, you know, and this is what's so funny about these people who call themselves Moors and they studying up under this Moorish whatever. Anything with M-O in it, they steal it. Moors, Moabite, Moab, and Morocco, and America. They try to make anything with anything starting with M. They don't even have to, if it got an M and a vowel after it, they steal it. They want to act like it belongs to them. Oh, Moor, you are, well, that's us. We're the M-U-U. No, you're not. I'm trying to give you the truth, but you cannot, you got to be willing to study for yourself, number one. Number two, you got to be willing to come out of the religion. All right. So these people are telling you all kind of stuff about, oh, M-U-U-R is the same as M-O-O-R, and that is a big L-I-E. M-U-U-R and M-O-O-R are not the same. And I've gone over that before, but I'll say it again. M-O-O-R deals with people who did jobs on the ship. M-U-U-R are the melanated folks who navigated from the land of Mu or the land of Lemuria into the Americas. These are the oldest, Washita M-U-U-Rs. They're the oldest known people on the planet. These M-O-O-Rs are pirates and land-stealing thieves. They go to different places and different lands and then they conquer them. And then now you got melanated people wanting to hold these people in high esteem. When they told you they conquered, we conquered Spain, we conquered Italy, we conquered all these other lands, we conquered North Africa. Do you understand what it means when you conquer something? When you conquer something, you forced your will onto another people. You have taken their territory. When you force your will, these are people who rewrite the history of the people who they conquered. That's what they do. No, I don't hold them in high esteem. But everybody did dirt. Even the original people did dirt. So I need to make this clear. I'm not here to make you feel good about it. No, I got to tell the facts. And the facts are not pretty. Everybody did some dirt. And I'm going to put it out. All right. So let's get back to this guy who claims he's a Moabite, and let's understand who the Moabites were. So you got these Jews who are saying to you, oh, we are Semites, and they tell you anti-Semitic if you say anything against what they have to say. You're not even disrespecting them. You're just saying, listen, I don't agree with this. Oh, you anti-Semitic. Okay, but let's find out. These people are not even from the land of Shem or the lineage of Shem. These are three different lineages. We got Shem, Japheth, and Ham. All right, when we talk about the 12 tribes, they come from the lineage of Shem. Now, these people telling you they German. That's from over here, the Khazars. That's got nothing to do with this lineage of Shem. But let's go further. Because when we start talking about the 12 tribes here, these are supposed to be the chosen people. All these people, by the way, were melanated. Let me be clear on that. Shem, Ham, Japheth, melanated. Japheth, this is where Buddha came from. These are Buddha folks. And remember, Buddha was melanated. I just want to make that clear. So we got Shem, and we come down here. I need to go down here to Abraham. Here's Abraham, and here is Terah. Now, Terah is the one who had Haran and Lot. All right, that's on Haran and Lot is on the lineage of Terah, and Lot is the one who had two daughters, and his two daughters gave birth to Moab and Benjamin. All right, down here is Abraham. Abraham is the one who gave birth to Isaac through Sarah. Sarah had Jacob and Esau. Through Isaac had Jacob and Esau with Rebekah, and Jacob is the one who is the one from where the 12 tribes come, according to Scripture. Okay, so we're looking at this. These are the 12 tribes down here. These people up here, these are Moabites. Now let's talk about who the Moabites are. Lot was the nephew of Abraham. And what happened is they had shared a space, Lot and Abraham did. And Lot didn't know how to keep his sheep in the right place. And Abraham says to Lot, look, Lot, this is what we're going to do. Because you're not keeping your sheep in the right place. You're not taking care of them the way you need to take care of them. So this is what we're going to do. You choose a land, all right? And whatever side you choose, that's going to be all yours. And then I'm going to choose the other side. Okay, so choose your side, and then you're going to go that way, and then I'm going to go this way. So Lot chose the land that moved into what we know of today as Sodom, Sodom, as in Sodom and Gomorrah. And so Lot went that way with his stuff, and Abraham went the other way. And these are all of his children had the land left in their name or in their lineage. That land that Abraham had, which included Lot's land. Okay, so now Lot goes on out to Sodom, or that area near Sodom. And, you know, we all know the story about Sodom and Gomorrah and how it was destroyed. Okay, we also are aware that once they were told to leave by the angels, according to the scripture, that they left, and then Lot's wife turned back and she was turned into a pillar of salt. Okay, so moving on past that, let's understand what happened with Lot and his daughters. Lot and his daughters got Lot drunk, and they had sex with Lot for the purpose of procreating. And when they had sex, they got these two children, one called Moab, one called Ben-Ami. And this is why we have the Moabites, who come from this incestuous relationship. And then we got the Ammonites coming from an incestuous relationship. So this is, you know, if you want to take on this title, that's fine, but don't call yourself an Israelite, because Israelites are here. The Moabites are up here, and I need this to be made clear to all my melanated folks. I've told you that this whole game is spiritual. Spiritual. The same way I told you it was two melanated people groups in the Bible, one enslaving the others, the Egyptians enslaving the Israelites. Okay, in the same scripture y'all reading, that scripture will tell you that these Israelites will have every nation around them to come against them. Again, I'm going into the spiritual side. Pay attention. The same Bible y'all are reading, when we're talking about the Egyptians versus the Israelites, it tells you that this group of Israelites will be in a situation where every nation around them, even their cousins, Moabites, Benamites, Anamites, will come against them. If you still don't understand that this is a spiritual game that we're playing, well then, keep going through the same mess. Keep going through the same mess. So you got a situation here where this guy is calling himself a Moabite, and you know what they did? Again, they saw an M, and then they jumped on top of, that's us, we're the Moabites. Not understanding what the ham sandwich of Moabite is. An incestuous group of folks, a group of folks that are spawned from an incestuous relationship. And these are the same people, according to the Bible, that will fight against the Israelites. So if you're an Israelite, then you know if somebody calling themselves a Moabite, well, I'm just saying, this is a spiritual game. The Bible said it. I didn't say it. I'm just telling you what the Bible said. All right, let me move on. Because I need you to understand why this guy's so excited. Because he's joined the Moors. And he is excited about the fact that he don't go to jail no more. They don't mess with me, Diva. Pay attention now. I said to him earlier in this, I said, you're not mentioning the trust that you likely have. You have to have one. That's where the power comes from. That's the only way that you stay out of jail, because you have a trust. He don't know nothing about no trust. He doesn't know nothing about no trust. Why? Because he wasn't taught. They took whatever money he had, and they said, here you go, come on, okay, you good now. You don't have to worry about no, fly this flag. He says, no trust, Bay, Day, Ali, El, or royalty. I told you that those names all come from someplace else. Bay is from Morocco for Beglave, meaning a governor. Day is from Algiers, meaning the same thing, governor. Ali is a Muslim name, a Muslim title. El and Al, those mean God. Those come from another place, Morocco over there in North Africa, that place. None of that is for here. So he says owns the trust. The United States is the operating broker. The United States is a trustee. What they've done, and he doesn't know, so pay attention. What they've done that he doesn't know is they've taken the all capital letter name and the social security number, and they put it under trust. But guess what? He don't own the trust. The Moorish Science Temple, or whoever he went under, they own the trust. He can't own it because he doesn't even know what to, look, he doesn't even know what to do with it. He probably don't even know, if I show him this, if I say declaration, he doesn't have a clue what that is. No clue. Even though the title of the word gives you a whole clue of what it is, but he doesn't know what it is. So what has happened is they have created the trust for him, and now he is under their jurisdiction. He's still like an imbecile, someone who has no standing, a child, an orphan. Now he's just up under this group called Moorish Science Temple. And here's the other thing. He's up under here. If these people incorporated with the U.S., which a lot of them did, that means they are under the U.S. corporation that you was trying to get off from under in the first place. Pay attention. You running around, oh, I don't want to be under them. I'm tired of this system. Let me get up under these Morocco. You up under here now. These people are incorporated up under the United States Corporation. I went over this before, but you cannot be a true nation up under a dead fictitious entity called the United States Corporation. You can't. And this is what a lot of Indian nations have done, so-called Indian nations. You cannot incorporate up under these people and think you got a nation is a living entity. A nation cannot be a living entity up under a dead corporation. This dead corporation, United States Corporation. You incorporate, you dead too. All right? So I need this to be made clear. This guy doesn't recognize that what he's done is only incorporated up under an organization that's likely incorporated up under the organization he was trying to get away from in the first place. So he goes on to say, United States is closing its doors. Okay. And let me get on that. If and when the United States closes its doors, you better know law. And I mean, you better know it like the back of your hand. You better know how to operate with the federal versus state. Let me show you something. Right here. This is why there's a UNA University. All right, because people think that, you know, oh, I don't need to know law. I just want to, I'm sick of their system, and I'm going into that. But these are 4 different governmental entities: federal, state, city, county. And they have a hierarchy which is based on whether you're dealing on the public side or the private side. If you don't understand this, you are not ready to be doing business. If you don't understand the difference between federal and county and how each one of them serves you, then you're not ready to do business. And if you think state and county or state and federal are the same, and you don't know how to separate the two, you don't know who you're doing business with, and you're not ready to do business. This is serious. And people don't understand this, but they want to say, oh, you know, how much it costs? Oh, I don't have, you know, I get the free 99 version. Well, go get the free 99 version. I'm going to talk about this. Hold on. Okay. So this guy says you need a nationality to go to the United Nations. And I need this to be made clear. You have the right to create your own nation. And it's just as valid, if not more so. I need to go down here. He says, he's bragging about being a part of this Moorish nation. He says, I won a court case too. The Moroccan flag is older than the country Morocco. The country was founded in 1950. He's talking about the state of Morocco today. All right. He's not talking about the Moroccan Empire, which is of antiquity. Okay, let me go on. He says a couple of other things. Oh, let me stop right here, because he says I won a case. He says he won a court case. And so I go back and ask him, did you get the instruments, the financial instruments that went with the case? Of course, you know that there was silence on that, because he doesn't know about the financial instruments. While you trading in Federal Reserve notes, these people trade in financial instruments. And they are happy to have you to come into their court. And they'll listen to your ridiculousness. Well, you know, I'm free. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're happy to hear that. Because at the end of the day, there's a $2 million financial instrument that takes place every time a court case is open, at least $2 million. You don't never see that. You think, oh, I won. I got off free. Yeah, you got off free, but they won. Because they get to keep the instrument that you don't know nothing about. This is why I mean, you got no law. And right now I'm just talking about finances and accounting. The laws behind it. The laws behind walking into a court. Do you know law? If you don't, you're not ready to play this game. Okay, let me keep going. Because we want to get to why he's so excited. He said, okay, no need to debate about that. All Moors are not dirty Moors, just the indoctrinated ones. Judges, politicians, preachers, fraternities, and Freemasons. And okay, look, all this, every time I start talking to these people, let me make this clear. When I start putting the truth and the facts out and I'm making it clear that what the Moors did, then they say, well, it's some dirty Moors. Then it's some clean Moors. Okay. But are you admitting and accepting of the fact that these people came into this land and did dirt? They enslaved the original, but the same way Israel is doing over there. And I mean, I don't care. Let me tell you, I'm not playing this game with these people. You're not going to silence me. I'm going to find another way. But the same way Israel is doing to those people in Palestine, that's exactly what's happening. Here, that's what happened here in this land called North America, but it was the Moors who did it to the original people of the land. They take over territory, and we got this documented. UNARepublic.com/docs. We got a list of all of the treaties where the ancestors are speaking and talking about all the treacherous stuff that was done to them by these people calling themselves British or Americans. They're talking about all of the things that were done to them, how they were silenced. There's a document in there from the Confederate of Indian Nation, and it's talking in detail about what was done to them. So don't talk to me about how, oh no, they was pristine. They treated the original people with love. No, they didn't. He goes on to say, Moabites are just feeding your TikTok channel. The problem is we think you are a government agent now. That's okay. You can think this is the problem. You don't even know what government is. That's the same problem. And until you understand what government is, then you're going to stay losing. Because he think he winning. I'm going to show you why he think he winning. This is what he said. I know so much law. No, he said, I know so much law, I don't go to jail. That's all the law I need. Then he writes, free from jail. Now, I'm laughing. I'm laughing here because of the simple fact that he don't know enough law to understand why he was going to jail in the first place, and we're ready to break it down. Pay attention. Please pay attention. And I need to say this because I found myself in a room with people who were not ready to uplift themselves. Okay. So I need to make this clear. When I'm dealing with uplifting or trying to help uplift people, I no longer try to go after everybody because everybody is not ready, and I respect that. And if you are dealing with people who are not ready, it only drains your energy. I need that to be made clear. So all my people out here who are teaching and trying to help people, I get it. You want to save everybody. Everybody should have this information, but you cannot save a people who are not ready to be saved or uplifted. I had this guy, he's talking about, oh, my people, my people, we ain't ready for this. I was like, well, my people are rich. We don't have problems with finances and all that. If we want something, we know how to ask the universe for it, and we know how to manifest. So anything we need, we know how to get it. Well, my people, well, shoot, I ain't gonna never say I'm up because he said something to me, and I said, well, Okay, if you saying you broke, because that's what he said. He said, bro, he said, well, I ain't. But you know, my people are, and I ain't gonna never say I'm up if they ain't up. So you're gonna stay down with them. Is that what you're saying? You stand down like 4 flat tires. Let me tell you something. My people have inflated tires, every last one of them, and they ready to rock and roll. Those are my people. My people who got inflated tires. My people who ready to rock and roll. We don't have issues with all of this stuff. If there's some knowledge that we want, we're going to find a way to get it. And so I'm talking to these people, and their whole notion is that, oh, this system, we sick of this system. We want this system to be out of here. We don't, okay. I'm going to explain something to you about why systems show up. Please listen and pay attention so that we understand why systems show up. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to zoom in on this. Let's take a look. He was here as a citizen, okay? As a citizen, this is the lowest part on the totem pole. A slave of the corporation to which it pledges, does not have rights, only have privileges which are given to it by the corporation to which it pledges. So he's found a way by going with these Moors to come from up under this corporation, which is the U.S. corporation, and now he's under the Moorish, whatever Moorish corporation that he's under. Now, when we go up this totem pole, we see federal codes, constitution, treaties. All of these things right here, treaties, constitution, federal codes. These are the things that you need, which is what we help provide you with in this package. All right? A treaty is what we help you establish. Constitution and your federal codes. These are the same things that the United States used to gain its independence in 1777. A declaration, which is your treaty. A constitution, which is what we know of as a private document. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can come into class and we'll go through it. And then your federal codes that we help you to establish. So all of those things are what help you to establish your sovereignty and take control of your all capital letter corporation that your mother consented to be created for you. Okay, now we have contract law, which is what we sovereign. So once you come up here into this area here, you got to know how to operate in contract law. If you don't know contract law, you're not even ready to do business because you don't understand the rules of the game. When all of these corporations are coming at you, whether it be light bill company, gas bill, water, mortgage, rent, car note, all of them are contracting with you via contract law. And if you don't understand it, then you can't protect yourself. So contract law, a set of laws which sovereigns worldwide adhere to in commerce. Offer plus acceptance equals contract. You need to know that whole, understand that whole section there so that you can learn how to walk in law. And when you're standing in law like that, you become a sovereign. Sovereign. A being that is master of self, operates under God's law, has the ability to create laws and constitutions for itself and corporation that it creates. Now, in this room that I found myself in, this guy is going on about how he hates the system and he knows how the system works and he's been dealing with the system and we tickle their system and he doesn't understand the difference between state and federal. So he's talking about this notice that Anna von Ritz wrote and she sent out concerning what the Pope has said. And the Pope has condemned the United States And the Pope has condemned a lot of these organizations that are operating. They're saying they're federal, but they're not really federal. Okay? So I need this to be made clear because we have to go over this in class. There's no way for me to give you this information without you really understanding. Here, going back to this, federal, state, city, county, these are not the same entities. They have specific responsibilities to the public. And if you're dealing here in state and city, they don't have any responsibility to you. Not on the private nor the public side. Well, the state had the private side, the state does have some responsibility to you, but definitely not on the public side. And if you don't understand that, this is why you got to come to class. You're not going to find this information and you go with free 99. You're going to find a piece over here. There's a lot of information out here. And the other thing is, when you're on this path to gaining your freedom, you need a mentor. Let me be clear. I wish I had a mentor. If I had a mentor, it wouldn't have taken me over a decade to get this information. And then I still have people who they've known me for a long time, more than 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and they come back and they in trouble because they didn't take me up on my offer in the classes 6, 7 years ago. Now they in trouble. Now they got to get a lawyer. And I promise you that lawyer is going to charge you many times more than what you would have paid in this class instead of trying to go free 99. Now you're paying $999,000. That's what you're doing. So either you get it now and you pay now, or you're going to pay a whole lot more later. It's your choice. I'm okay with whatever you decide to do. But please don't come at me when you in jail. Dave, please help me. What I gonna do? I need a trust. You want one of these? Let me hold on. Let me go back. Right here. Sovereign. A master of self. We need to understand what that means, because this guy is excited. Now I'm going back to the one from my thread. He's excited that he don't have to go to jail no more. And I need y'all to understand that, yeah, you got off from under the U.S. corporation, which is all the way down here. But there's a whole other set of laws that I just talked to you about at the beginning, right up here, called universal laws. And if you are not in harmony with the laws, there's no protection for you. So let's understand something. When you do a crime, whatever crime, because I know he wants to say, well, you know, I'm innocent of what they accuse me of. Okay. But the universe is spoken. And the universe only sends energies to those who it knows put it out. The universe doesn't miss. Oh, she's perfect. That's what I said. She's perfect. She doesn't miss. When she puts out an energy, she puts it to where it's supposed to go. She don't miss. And so if you are telling me, oh, I'm out of jail. So when you were under the system as a citizen and you committed a crime, you go to jail because you committed a crime. But if you, as a sovereign, do that same thing, you're going to pay with your life. It's not going to be the same punishment as what you get down here. See, I need to go into this, and I'll talk about why systems show up. Okay, so we got sovereigns right here. Let me back out so we can see both of these together. Okay, we got sovereign up here, and we got corporation down there. I need everybody to understand. At one time, especially you melanated folks, at one time you owned everything. Everything was yours. All the wealth, the riches, the land, it was yours. So a lot of people ask me, well, what happened? Why we lose it? Because you forgot how to be sovereign. And one of the things, I've talked about the Bible before, and y'all know, those of y'all who know, that I've said what the Bible is, okay? And that there are some things in there that are not true, and then there's a lot of truth in it. And if you know how to read, you're going to see it. Now, when we're talking about the scripture, one of the things you find is that those Israelites, which is a large part of what the Bible is about, is really getting up. You'll see the God in there getting upset with them because they turned their face from their God. Y'all pay attention now, because this is not about religion. This is not about religion. I'm just giving you the spiritual understanding of what's going on in this dimension. When you forget how to be sovereign, when you forget how to be an adult, then a system has to show up to help you govern yourself. People who are sovereign are self-governed. People who don't know how to behave and act like a mature adult, they have to have a government. What does government means? To govern means to control. Ment means mind. Government means control of the mind. And if you forget how to be in control of your mind and control of self, then a system's got to show up for you to help put you in place before you destroy yourself. Once again, if you don't know how to control your mind and control yourself, then a system has to show up for you to help keep you in place so that you don't destroy yourself. And somebody going, what you talking about, Diva? What kind of, this system only showed up? Yeah, because we weren't acting in our right mind. So what am I talking about? With sovereigns who are truly sovereign, we don't have to worry about calling the police because somebody broke in our house, because everybody breaking into our house because we don't steal. Is it that simple? Yeah, it's that simple. When you telling me, or somebody broke in our house, I know what you just told me is you stole from somebody. No, I would never. And anybody who's watching, can't not one person watching this session right now tell me about how somebody stole something from them and they never stole anything. Nobody. If somebody stole from you, it is an energy that was returned to you. Same thing with anything else, whether it be killing or anything else. If you're getting it, the universe is returning an energy, period, and point blank. You can play the victim all you want to, but we don't know no victims up in here, because when we look at the universal laws, they tell us 100% there are no victims. So what am I getting at here? When you are sovereign, you have a responsibility to be in your right mind. And so you can't come out here and do the same garbage you did as a citizen and expect to get away with it, because there's another set of laws that will take you down so fast, your head will spin. Universal laws. Ignorance of those laws is no excuse. So he's all excited. Oh, I ain't going to jail. Okay. Do the same trash you did as a citizen. The repercussions are much, much, much worse than what you would ever get under that. You're going to wish you was back up under the U.S. Okay. Let me continue. We're understanding what being a sovereign is. Mastery of self. Self-governed. You don't need a system to show up, because you are acting in your right mind. You're standing under God. I need to go up. We've got laws of maxim, and I've showed you the laws of maxim, which are in the UNA Beginner Law Book, which, as I told you, you can go and get from unauniversity.com. All right. If I'm going into court, I'm putting God's laws on record for that court. And I need this to be made clear. You guys are not understanding the spiritual aspect, not only of this dimension, but of this society. You're going into court and you don't understand that's a spiritual undertaking you're going to go into. All rise. That's a seance. And it's saying, all rise, you dead people. All rise. Because the only thing they can deal with in a court is dead people, persons. They can only deal with dead persons. And those of y'all who know. So if you don't know what a person is, that's why you need to be in the university. So we got a situation here where you're going into court. You want to recognize, I'm just say it like that. You want to start recognizing that this is a spiritual undertaking that you're ready to go into and that you're dealing with. And this is why I say it's important to know law. All of the laws. These laws, as we get higher, these are the most important laws. We're talking about natural law. Natural law. It deals with the natural ways of all objects and beings which manifest in the third dimension. But one of the things I need you to understand about natural laws, we live in abundance. That's what nature says. Nature says we live in abundance. Whatever you put out, it comes back. If I go plant one tomato seed, is nature going to be stingy with me and just give me a half? No, nature is going to give me a whole bunch of seeds. That's how nature works. That's how this universe works. We live in abundance. When you put an energy out, it must return. It's the same thing. The natural laws are only a reflection. I don't want to say reflection, but they are just mimicking or doing what universal law says. We live in abundance. If you want it, you give it away. See, y'all be looking for, where I can sign some paperwork because I need to get some money. I need to make this the money. This is the money. I just told you we live in abundance. But y'all would know because see my bank account, the law says we live in abundance. If you want it, you must give it away. And when my students, see, again, my people got inflated tires and my people be rocking and rolling. Don't know about your people, but my people understand these laws and they know how to use them. So when it comes to any kind of financial, whatever, this and that, and I got to pay for this and that, they know that it's always an investment. They know it is always an investment. I don't care if I'm ready to go out and eat at Checkers or Wendy's. I know I'm going to get that back times 2, at least. They know when they go pay a light bill, water bill, gas bill, they don't stress about it because they know they get ready to get it back. This is an investment. It don't matter what you're paying for. Again, my students have changed their mindset so that nothing in this place bothers them and everything in this place they use to uplift themselves. If you are not at that point, that's why you need the university. So I'm in this room going back to this group of people that I was dealing with, and all of them want to be victims, and all of them want to be upset with the system, and all of them want to fight and want to be angry. I don't know anybody who's won doing that. Because you don't win in a lower vibratory state. Hold on. Right here. They all the way down here. They anger and shame and grief. But you want to win. You can't be operating down here if you want to win. Pay attention. See, I'm giving you the money right here. I'm trying to help you get your mindset right because I want you to be my people. All right? And all it takes is a change of your mindset. You don't have to fight unless you want to fight. But if you understand this simple principle, hold on. Here, public and private, federal versus state, county versus state, when you understand those simple principles, everything becomes simple. There is no fight. So this guy is thinking, but you up under the state. He don't know what county is, and he doesn't know they're separate because he thinks it's all the same thing. But it's not, because you don't know law. Then he goes on to say to me, he's yelling at me, I know this system because my brother is in prison for murder and he can't get out. And we mortgaged the house to sell it so we can get my brother out of prison. And he's still okay. Does he have a trust? And my brother's still in jail. Does he have a trust? And I don't believe this system. Sir, does your brother have a trust? No, he don't have no. That's the problem. He doesn't have a trust. So you want to be yelling and all this, and the lawyers, you mean to tell me we paid the best lawyers on the state? Did they tell you about the trust? They're not going to tell you about a trust. Why would they not tell you about a trust? Because the lawyers are under the jurisdiction of the state. They're not going to tell you about what can empower you and free you because they're not free themselves. I told you. It's like asking a dead fictitious entity to give you sovereignty when you under the dead fictitious. They just as dead and fictitious as the state is. How can they tell you something when it's purposely been kept from them? A lawyer cannot tell you about how to get yourself under trust and free you. A lawyer cannot even tell you about the financial instruments of the court that I just told you about. Why can't they tell you? Well, they're going to be disbarred because they are part of the state, and the state wants to keep those funds. But federally, you have a right to them. But will they ever tell you that? No, because you don't know law. You think you know the system, but you don't know this game, sir. If he's not under trust, then stop talking and listen. This is what I mean when I say my people. Them are my people. My people are the ones who listen and they learn to uplift themselves. My people don't even end up in that situation in the first place. So let me go into this, because what we do here at UNA, we are proactive, meaning we want to make sure you get the knowledge before you end up in a situation where you in jail or you financially jacked up we want to get you before that. Because we're going to be not reactive, like, we got this court case and then you got to pay a lot of money. But if you come to us before that, then you're going to set yourself up to not only where you are spiritually set up, socially set up, but financially set up. And when I say set up, I mean in good condition. I'm sorry. Great condition. Pay attention. I'm ready to close this out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'd be glad to get to them before I get out of here. So I need to make sure we are understanding, okay? When we're talking about sovereignty, because this guy says, and they're trying to, because there were other people in the group, and they was like, yeah, you talking about your sovereignty or whatever, and the guy says, the one who's yelling and all this, I don't want to be sovereign. I just want to be a citizen of the nationals of the. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He doesn't want to be sovereign, which he's not understanding what this term means. And pay attention, people. I did not say sovereign citizen. Let me pull out of this thing so you can see. Okay. You are a sovereign, which means a god and a governor of self, or a citizen, meaning a slave. You cannot be both. So if you hearing somebody use that term, you know straight off they straight up ignorant or some kind of troll. or agent. The term sovereign is a very spiritual term that somebody has bastardized, putting the term citizen on it. The same way they bastardized the term M-U-U-R by putting the term M-O-O-R on it. I said it. Sovereign is a very spiritual term. Look it up, look up the etymology of it, understand the power of this term. It means that you are standing under God and acting in righteousness. And if you call yourself sovereign and you're not acting in kindness, compassion, love, honor, integrity, and respect, you're going to find yourself in a worse situation than you would have been under had you just stayed under the U.S. corporation. I want to make that clear. And some of you all who are going and jumping under these groups and not knowing law, I need you to understand, ignorance will get you devoured. It doesn't matter what group. Well, oh, we're going to take care of you. This all lying people. You wise people. Ignorance will get you devoured. Period. It doesn't matter what these people say. Oh, we're going to take care of you and we're going to. No. You got to know law for yourself. Not, oh, my husband know it. My brother good at it. My sister, she's best. She graduated. My brother, cousin, uncle. No, you got to know it. Because when we start talking about this, now we're talking about your spiritual salvation. See, all of this is connected. I know y'all just think, well, I just want some money so I can. It's all connected. When we start talking about this sovereignty, we're getting into your spiritual salvation as well. So I go back to these Israelites who turned their face from whatever their God was and why it was such a big problem. When you're talking about your freedom, you got to understand why you lost it in the first place. You forgot how to be a mature adult. And when you're sovereign, you're mature. And mature people keep their hands to themselves. They don't take stuff that doesn't belong to them. They don't disrespect other people or say things out of their face and just be okay with it. And they act like mature adults. And so when you do that, you can move the system out of your business. And there's a lot that goes into being sovereign and acting like an adult. It starts with knowing law, and not just these lower laws, but I'm talking about the universal laws up here, that if you don't know them, okay, the universe is going to come down on you very hard. I need that to be made clear. If I have any questions, let me get them before I get out of here. I want you all to remember that the book, Tapping Into Your Supernatural Powers, is out. Go to unauniversity.com to purchase this, unauniversity.com, and get this book. My sisters who are really wanting to know the things that have been hidden from you in this society, go get this book, okay? Let me see if I have any questions about what we've talked about here today. And let me make sure I know something else I want to touch on before I get out of here. Let me make sure I got everything out that I need to say. To my Moabites and the Moors and everybody else who has issues with these things that I'm uncovering, all right, I encourage you to just do your research. I get it. You have been indoctrinated into this Moorish science, whatever it is. But if you're really talking about taking land here in the Americas, you need to honor the mothers of this land. And their names wasn't no Ali and El and Day and Bay. Their names, they have names. You got to honor them. Honor them. That's the least you can do, because until you honor the mothers, you will have no peace here. There will be no peace. And that's what's going on in Israel. Those people not honoring the mothers of that land. They're not even the real people. I said it. I also want to say this. In that room that I told you I was in with these people, his whole idea was this it's ready to fall. Everything get ready to crumble. I just want us to get back to where we was when it was just us, and you don't have no government, and it was just us and under God. Okay. And if you think that them leaving is just going to make everything great again, okay. Let me show you something. And I need again, the problem is he thinks that federal and state are the same thing. Okay? So, federal, that's the post office. If federal goes away, then you're going to be disconnected from the rest of the world. If federal goes away, I need you to understand that, because that's the UPU, that's the post office. People don't understand how powerful the post office is and how important it is in this society. So if that goes away, then there's no connectivity to anybody else around this planet. If federal goes away, water. Anybody like having water and lights and gas? Anybody appreciate that? Okay. Federal pays for that up front. The problem is, because we don't know law, we don't know how to access what was given to us from our estate. So if that goes away, then they're the ones who pay for the infrastructure of the lights, gas, water. So now you're going to have a situation where, how are you going to get access to those things? Again, you're not understanding the difference between state and federal. Federal has set up things whereby you're supposed to have access to lights, gas, water, car, house, social. That's what Social Security is. For your security of your social needs. And it's already been paid for, but you got the state that is blocking. And a lot of people are not understanding there's a difference between these different organizations that are governmental. State is not for you. Federal is for you. Federal is the one providing everything for you. State is blocking. You keep doing business with state, we show you how to not do business with state. Then you don't have to fight. I personally don't care for state, but I respect why state had to show up. And let me tell you why. Again, if state disappears, which is they're saying it's about to, okay. Remember I told you about robberies and Erdemes? All right. So this is why you need to know universal laws. Let me go back to this. Okay. Hold on. Put this up on the screen for me, Sally. Remember I said as a sovereign, you're self-governed, right? You better hold on to these laws with all of your might. You better, if state goes away, you better be so righteous, because if you're not, then all kind of energies are going to come to you that you don't want to have on you. See, again, my people, we rolling with inflated tires and we rocking and rolling. So we're not concerned about whatever state decide to do, or federal for that matter, because we rocking with the universe. We rocking with God. So we're not concerned about whatever they decide to do. Cool. We're going to be rocking and rolling because we got our tires inflated. But if you are not righteous and state goes away, okay, police department, okay, again, light, water, gas, because they're the ones who, they are the mediators between federal over here and state. So state is the one, and then you got city in here, city, state, and then they are mediators between that and federal. You got to understand the game. But when you understand the game, well, you just do business with federal. Why you can bypass them. But if you haven't learned what law is, well, you're going to keep fighting. You're going to keep going to lawyers because you don't even understand that a lawyer, if you have a lawyer, especially if you have a lawyer in a court case, you are considered an imbecile. You are considered somebody who has no standing or no voice. And then you can't be heard in court. You can only do what the lawyer allows you to do. You don't know law. And so you want to come yelling at me because you paid a lot of money for a lawyer to do what lawyers are they paid to do. If there's a person who has taken an oath, then they supposed to lie to you because that's what the oath is for. It's the Hippocratic oath. Doctors, lawyers, judges, politicians, preachers. That's what they're supposed to do. They've taken an oath to keep the truth from you. So don't yell at me because the oppressor wouldn't teach you how to be free. No, you got to be willing to listen. So if what he says happens and he doesn't know law, which he clearly does not, he's going to be in a world of trouble. And if you don't understand the higher law, universal laws, and that happens, what he's saying, yeah, you're gonna be in a downward spiral. But those of us who rocking with God and the universe or source or whatever you want to call it, and we are walking righteously and we in our higher vibratory frequency, we good. No matter what they do, doesn't matter what happened. We don't care about no politics. We're not concerned because we know we're in good standing. All right, I'm going to answer some questions. Tony says, stop being sheep. Wake up, black peoples. I don't know no black peoples. I call y'all melanated. If I'm saying black, it's an insult. Trust. Stop the partying. Stop getting high. I agree with that. Stop getting high. Stop buying the fancy cars. Stop buying the fancy clothes and prepare yourself for the situation going on now. Yeah, you need to learn this law. And I'm talking all laws because we definitely go into the spiritual side. You got to know it. Listen, I need to say this because I've been doing this for over a decade, teaching people this information. And it all goes back to spirit, all of it. Every time somebody comes to me and they're like I've had people come to me to ask me to help them with cases. And for example, I've had a woman to come to me and, she got a son and her son was in jail because he had sexually assaulted somebody, raped, whatever. Okay. So she wants me to help get him off, but then we're going back through the history and she says, oh yeah, well, when he was a child, somebody said that he touched them, and then when he was a teenager and now he's an adult, he's in jail, he's a predator, but you want me to help you get him off. And the problem is that he's where he's supposed to be because he ain't in his right mind. You want me to help him be sovereign. But if he comes from under the U.S. corporation and he does that same thing, he's going to pay with his life. So understand that if you're going to be sovereign, you have to be righteous. You got to be spiritually right. And if you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself, if you don't know how to respect other people's rights in space, you do not need to be sovereign, and we're not interested in you being under our nation. We deal with people in their right mind who are self-governed and ready to stand as a sovereign under God in their right mind. Thank you, Tony. So what's this about? Tim, go ahead and rewind. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. What about the person doing it, the person causing the harm? Thank you, Say Okay. Say Okay says, what about the person causing the harm? Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying, what about them, but as I said, if somebody is causing you harm, that means you did some dirt somewhere else. And if the person who's causing harm, well, they're going to see it too. It's a spiral. One of the laws, one of the universal laws is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Number 8. Do I have this up? Hold on, I can pull it up. Show the screen for me, Savvy. Put this on the screen for me, Savvy. So the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. And what this law is saying is when you put out an energy, it's going to come back to you. And anybody who returns that energy, well, they going to get it returned back to them. And the person who returned it back to them is going to get it, and they're going to get it returned back to them. You understand? It's a transmutation. It's perpetual, on and on and on. But if you don't want to be in that spiral, all you need to do is control yourself and your own energies. If you don't want to be in that spiral of perpetual transmutation of energy, all you got to do is control your own energies. If you want good things to come to you, do good things for other people. If you want money to come to you, put money out to other people. If you want love, give love. And it's going to be a perpetual transmutation of energy. When you give love, somebody's going to give you love. And when they give love, somebody's going to give them love. And when somebody gives them love, then somebody else going to come and give them love. Perpetual transmutation of energy. That's how it works. All right. Let me see if I have any other questions. Let me ask if say, okay, thank you for that question. Thank you, Savvy. If I didn't answer it, let me know. G. Matthew, thank you for joining us. Elkimon says, Miss Diva, do you help with land patents? Yes, I do, Elkimon. We do. We get deep into land patents. So leave a message, go to UNA University, and let's get on it. Thank you, Copper Goddess, for being here. Lanaya, thank you for being here. My people in TikTok, if you have any questions, I am ready, or I am remedy says, sober mind. Yeah, you got to have a sober mind. Let me pull this. I got to pull. All right. Oh, I did it. All right, there it is. Wait a minute. Okay, so Rising, thank you for being here. Elijah, thank you for being here. I said Rising Truth. Noble, thank you. Noble said facts. Regina, thank you for being here. Regina said so much of our history was watered down. It was, Regina, and so that's why one of my purposes here is to make sure I leave the information so that anybody who wants it, you can get it. Okay, that's universe is giving me a gift in that I've been able to research any and everything that I want to possibly know, and give it and has awarded me for just putting the information out. So I am honored to be able to share this with you. I hope you guys find it well. If you have questions, leave them in the comments section, and if there's anything that we can help you with, please set up a consultation so we can talk. Regina says, it's confusing me to more M-U-U-R and M-O-O-R. Regina, I want to invite you to find us on YouTube at unarepublic.com, unarepublic.com. Find us on YouTube because we really break down more M-U-U-R and M-O-O-R. So that you can understand the two. Okay, so once again, M-U-U-R are the people coming from Lemuria. M-O-O-R means a job done on a ship, and that was these people coming from other places in other lands. Mello says, what are my sovereign rights, and what do I have to get my sovereign? What do I have to do to get my sovereign rights? Thank you for that question, Mello. All right, so I talked about the maxims of law. And I need y'all to understand, when I talk about the maxims of law, I know for a fact, because I've had court cases in other countries, all right? And when I say maxims of law, everybody step back. Oh, yeah, the maxims of law. Maxims of law are considered God's law. All right, that's the universal law. Let me show you inside of this book. Laws of maxim or maxims of law, 200 and some odd of them. Now, let me tell you some of your God-given rights. One of them includes you have the right to protect yourself, meaning you got the right to bear arms. All right, you got the right to travel this planet without governmental documentation. You've got the right to, catch rainwater. You got the right to fish in any pond that you want to fish in. All right, this is when you're taking back your God-given rights. When they're telling you, oh, you got to have a permit to fish. Did God say this? Where are they getting this from? They're getting that from making an assumption that you're under their jurisdiction. Like they have the rights to the water and all the rainwater and anything that falls from the sky. Well, that came from God. But they're trying to make you have a permit, make you pay for a permit to do it and want to penalize you. But when you establish your trust under God and you take back your rights, well, they're going to give you a permit to drive, a permit to fish, a permit. You got to have a permit to breathe up in here. But when you take back your God-given rights, well, then no permit needed. God said it's for you, and they can't take it away unless you sign your rights away by going under contract with them some kind of way. All right. I hope I answered that question, Mello. But there's a lot of them. If you get this book, it goes through what your rights are in this book. And of course, listen, if your God says add some other stuff to this book, then add it. Your God is talking to you. You got to listen and then put these people on notice about what your God said. And that's what we're talking about when we say the maxims of law. Okay. So, and I hope you all are understanding. Again, all y'all want to call me, oh, is she a governmental agent? No, I'm not. I'm here for the people. I'm sent by God to help make sure that this information that was stolen from us or that we forgot, that we failed to put out. Yeah. Because remember, we are all spirits up in here, meaning this is not your first time. Some of y'all having deja vu. Wow, what's a deja vu? They didn't explain it to you because that is you experiencing this again because you've been here before. We've gone through that in depth. All right. So in understanding that, what you want to recognize is that you, as a spiritual entity, there are things that we put out, energies that we put out. And now we've got to be accountable for that and be willing to do what we need to do to get that information back. And my job here is to make sure that I put the information out that we failed to put out the first time we was here. So I'm coming back. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Okay. And I hope you guys are getting this information. The last thing that I want to say is one of the guys in that group that I was dealing with said, oh, yeah, you don't have to pay for this. You could do it free 99. Okay. And so he's talking and I said, well, do you have your trust? Because I need y'all to understand a trust is the most basic, fundamental, and most powerful tool when we're talking about regaining your power, authority over your estate and what belongs to you. This right here, the trust. And I said to him, do you have your trust? Oh, well, now I'm working on it. Okay, how long you been working on it? Well, it was because it was 6. How long have you been working on it? Well, it was how long, sir? Oh, about a year. I need you to understand. You're going to need a mentor to get this done in a timely manner. You can have this done inside of a month. You can have this done. But see, what we do is we're making sure that you have the knowledge, not just the paperwork, but you understand how to wield this. So you have somebody who you can ask questions to when the post office is giving you lip. When the court is giving you lip, when the county is giving you lip, you need to understand what you're filing, why you're filing, where you're filing it. Okay, you got to understand those things, because otherwise you're going to be like this guy talking about everything is the same when it's not. So if you just like, oh, well, we're going to get free 99, okay, I respect that. But then you're going to be like him, and you're going to be like all these other people who knew me 5, 6, 7 years back, and they failed to join the university. And then they want to go, well, Diva, I'm in trouble because I can't help you. We're proactive. You should have come to me back then so that I can get you these universal laws, because that's really what you need. When you get the universal laws, everything else falls in place. That's what people not understanding. They're thinking they just in trouble because the system messing with us. They picking on me because I'm black. Diva, help. No. Proactive. This is your opportunity to take advantage of this information at the rate that I'm giving it. Because, see, my people, this is what I had to tell them too, and this is what I don't really like to say, but since I said it to them, I'm going to tell it to y'all because y'all my people. When my people come in, okay, and we're talking about getting funds back, I don't know any other opportunity or money-making opportunity or any other investment. I do not know any other investment that's better than UNA. Not one. Not gambling at the casino, not the stock market, not playing the lottery. UNA is the best investment that Diva Lyri knows. And trust me, I looked. The most solid investment. And I mean that. You come in and for the whole year, you possibly pay $5,000 at the most, not even that. And then my students who stay in class and they're honorable, they end up getting $80,000 back. And that's just for a part that we ain't even talking about the other stuff that when the banking. We're not even talking about the banking that we get into. I don't know any better investment than UNA. And this is not me bragging, because I don't want you in my class because you want money. I want you there because you want to learn. And if you want to learn, the money will find you. I hope y'all found this information good. I'm ready to get out of here. I want y'all to know I love you. We're going to see you on next Friday. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri. We're helping you find your social freedom, financial freedom, and most importantly, your spiritual freedom. Let's get to it. I love y'all. Give me a hug. Come out. Bye-bye.
University.